Welcome, everyone, to episode 3 of CLG Faithful podcast. I'm your usual host, Nefarious, and joining me this week is my usual co-host, Arten. Sounds like you're having a drink here. What are you drinking?
Yes, sir. I am drinking a beer that tastes like the delicious tears of Immortal and Team Liquid.
That sounds great. I'm,
Yep.
let's have a toast. I'm drinking Tears of Everyone as they whine about Darshan split putting the victory.
Cheers.
Cheers. So, all right, let's go right into it. First game, COG versus Immortals. Tell us
Yeah.
about the bands.
The pick bands who he got to play on Jace. Stixay got to play on Ashe. And Afromu, he brought back someone that not many people would have expected, I think, this week. And that was Soraka.
Sure, it must have tilted a whole lot of people.
Oh, yeah. So, how'd the game go?
Uh, well, so the first game is actually interesting. Who he gave up first blood when he was being a little bit greedy and tried to get the wave because he wanted to get the wave, go back, and then TP back in. So unfortunately, Poblater gets the first blood. Now, going in a little bit further into that, just a few minutes later, Dardark tries to invade onto Xmithy near the Raptor camp, and COG is blue side this game. Dardark exchanges a flash with Xmithy, and this actually ends up going really well for CLG. The reason for this is because Dardark then makes his way towards bot lane, and he tries to do a gank onto bot. Now, because he doesn't have flash, Darshan immediately TPs in, and then Dardark is caught. He can't escape, and it ends up going really well for CLG, in which they get 3 kills, 1 kill for Darshan, and 2 kills for Stixay, including first blood for Stixay. And to make it even better, Stixay also gets sold first brick gold, which means he is a massive, massive gold lead. From there, it's just classic CLG, macro game on point, classic rotations, fantastic game for us.
That's awesome. And I believe especially with that initial TP that Darshan put down that allowed us to snowball into that, he definitely gets the MVP.
Absolutely. And, we mentioned the Afremu Soraka pick. I just want to point out, it's a little ironic. People were complaining in the post-game thread that, Afremu picking Soraka is so tilting. It's like, he's playing this against Immortals of all teams. Think back to back when Adrian was still on Immortals. What did they pick every single game?
Soraka.
Soraka and Janna.
Absolutely.
Feels good, Feels
It
good, man.
does.
Then moving into game two, what did they do? They banned the Soraka.
What do you get? It's like, what are they gonna do? That it was so powerful. He got 15 assists in game one off that.
Absolutely. And then not only that, they also ban who he's Aurelion Soul. It's not meta yet. They keep banning that pick from him. But so what does who he do in respond? He picks up the Zed. Who he actually a little while back, he there was a Zed only tournament, and who he actually won that the best bet Zed in NA.
No kidding.
So we started to figure out why as he started to play it. We have a really good early game, and who he actually gets first blood. Although Xmoothie does make a questionable dive, I guess it was to help ensure that who he gets this first blood. From there, you would think we'd snowball, right?
Yeah. Did we not snowball from that?
Well, here's what happened, right? So around the 15-minute point, Immortals actually gets a really good team fight because CLG's vision control is lacking. As overall, throughout this series, CLG's vision was actually really lacking around dragons. This particular game, there was 2 Infernos and 1 Mountain Drake, and Immortals is able to get them all. So yeah, going back to the 15-minute mark, I mentioned we have no vision around Drake. CLG is forced to try to face check. Immortals makes the call and uses the server ult to engage in, and they actually pick up 4 kills from there, including Shutdown Gold, mid lane turret, and the Inferno Drake.
Oh man, they didn't win off that, did they?
I mean, they kind of did, because from there on, it was actually really difficult for COG to get back into the game, just because we lost the early game tempo. Uh, Little later on to the game, Immortals does actually try to go for Dragon, and Xmithy, he's not been doing very great recently in terms of jungling, but man, this guy just doesn't know when to stop stealing objectives. He goes in, he steals the Baron. Unfortunately, COG does get caught out, and we end up losing the Baron. Later on, we do take Elder Drake, and you think we would win off from there, or at least get a really good setup, because at this point, Baron is back up. We go and we push towards the mid lane. We take the mid lane, uh, what you call it, mid lane Nexus, or not Nexus turret, the mid lane turret, and then we take the inhibitor, and then we actually make a greedy push to end, but we don't have any sideways set up. We don't have any minions pushing in, and it's a really, really greedy end. Unfortunately, off of that, the Immortals is able to bounce back, and then right near the Baron, there's a little bit of skirmishing, and as that happens, we start to go towards the blue side blue buff, and from there we have the final team fight of the game, where Stix's only death of those two games in the series comes from there.
Oh
Unfortunately,
man.
that was it. That was the game from there. But I have to give it as MVP to Flame. He played Rumble that series, and he had some fantastic equalizers, including one particular one at the Baron Pit, which he trapped us off, and that was really costly for us. As for our team, who he put on a fantastic Zed game. It was just really fun to watch.
Yeah, he went 11-4-3 in a losing game.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? Okay, so Immortals wins this game too. Let's talk about game three.
Yeah, so game 3 starts, and during the pick ban phase, like, Immortals were like, oh, okay, well, we didn't like that Soraka in the first game, but we think we can play around it in game 3. Afro gets Soraka. And they banned Jace instead of Aurelion Sol. So, guess who he gets to play? Aurelion Sol. And then, in prime Zion Spartan fashion, gets to play a carry, gets Fiora top.
Ah, man, just hearing that makes you feel all giddy inside, doesn't it?
It really does. Every time I see them play, I'm like, just put Darshan on a carry. Just put Darshan on a carry. Come on, come on, come on.
Let him play the Trundle, let him play the Gnar, let him play the Fiora. Just let him split
Exactly.
push to victory. And
Exactly.
man, this game started off. It actually started off pretty poorly. You're looking at it. They're trying to actually get Darshan to get a lead into the top lane matchup against Maokai before Maokai can turn into this super tank status. And Smithy does go top, and there's a little bit of skirmishing now. Darbuck is also there to help Maokai because they obviously know that's COG's game plan. After what ended up being a very close fight, neither top lane nor jungler on both sides dies. But then Huhi comes up, tries to make the roam. It's unsuccessful. Now, as they're all retreating, Hobart just managed to make his way up, and he gets a double kill and first blood for that.
Ah,
From there, Immortals actually makes some pretty good picks and rotations around the map, and a lot of these picks end up coming from Xmithy, who did not have a good game at all.
right on. So does CLG come back from this or what?
Well, this is CLG we're talking about. Just as when you begin to lose faith in them and you think they're at their worst, that's when they play their best. We actually have a team fight near the blue side red buff that results in a triple kill for Fiora, and we get Inferno Drake on top of that.
Oh yeah.
Now, this is the Fiora that was, offline, struggling a little bit, has been put down, and Immortals has picked up quite a few towers at this point in the game. It's looking really good for them. But man, this team fight puts Fiora back into the game. A little bit further on, Darshan is split pushing, and he actually duels against Pobutter's Rise. And oh man, it was a very close fight, which Fiora goes and uses the ult and tries to get all the vital procs. Now, Pobutter actually plays really well and hugs the wall so that Darshan can't get the very last vital proc. And it looks like Darshan's about to die, but who comes in and saves him? Aphromoo. Aphromoo uses the redemption and uses the Soraka ult, and the wish ends up causing Darshan to live. Pobutzer actually misplays that just a little bit, and Darshan is able to get that last vital proc, pick up the kill, and receive the healing from it.
Oh, so
Now,
good.
exactly, and it's even better because Flame had TP'd in to help Pobutzer, but because of that, Darshan didn't die from there. It's a Fiora. This Fiora is online, and she's ready to just kill anyone who tries to 1v on her.
Exactly, especially since he got that alt proc, he's basically just like filled out his health bar.
Absolutely. And then Fiora is back online. Split push game is back on. And one nice thing that Darshan does is that he picks up early GAs. Usually, a lot of Fioras, if you notice them, they won't pick up the GA. Instead, they'll go for the more carry items, your Black Cleaver and the like, and they'll try to go and push the split push advantage from here. No, Darshan makes the choice to get the GA, and this enables him to go and make a great TP play against Immortal's backline, destroy Cody's son, and then from there, even though he dies, it doesn't matter. He's got the GA, so you're just able to just go push him onto the top side, take the turrets, take the inhibitor, and end the game in style.
Nice. So, I mean, talking about Aframu, we have to give him MVP for that game. He had
Oh,
about
absolutely.
30,000 healing that game. That's incredible. He
That's
was
basically
basically trolling
negating.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's basically negating an entire person's damage source. You think
exactly.
30K's health. Damn, that's a lot of healing.
Yeah, that's like what, like two Maokais?
And you know what? Throughout the course of this entire series, the games which we're seeing, Aphromu and Soraka is actually super impactful. Uh, this game actually at one point, Huhi and everyone else they're all sieging mid lane and Darshan split pushing bot lane. Now, what happens? COG makes the play. They're trying to get the turret. Dardoch actually goes and makes a great insect kick onto Hui into the turret. And you think, oh, okay, he's gonna die now. He's being attacked by three members of Immortals. They've got the turret onto him. But what does he do? He just doesn't die. Not only is Hui building tanky with with GLP and the Rallies, but you've got Aphromu just sitting there. Heal, 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 heal. And it takes him forever to die.
Nice. So let's move on to game or to Sunday, where CLG ended up playing Team Liquid. We ended up having in game one, Rainover gets put on Graves.
Yeah, uh, that would be a mistake. You know, they it's already a mistake because Reignover ends up being one of Team Liquid's good champions in which Reignover's been able to perform. But it's all the more worse because we have a really, really bad start. Team Liquid invades and picks up a super easy level 2 for Reignover because Darshan's on Maokai and he uses the saplings to try to give a leash to Smithy. Uh, Team Liquid, because of the invade, is able to pick up the level 2. Smithy's put super far behind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, from there, we tried to catch up with some proactive play, but ultimately it just never was enough. We've lost several members though, and Team Liquid goes for the Baron. What do you think happens? Do they get Baron?
I don't know. I mean, Smithy's smiting in all the games and the day before was on point.
Of course. And of course, he's not been having a great jungle game, but what's he gonna do? He's gonna make a beeline straight towards the Baron, flash and jump in on Kha'Zix and get the steal. I mean, it doesn't matter because people get caught out and we lose the game anyways.
Oh,
But he took the Baron.
okay. So we seem to have been on a pretty bad start to that game. How does it end up?
That game, I mean, we just straight up lost. We
Oh,
were never able to recover, and Stixay was actually uncharacteristically caught out a lot. But game two, we started to turn it around.
nice. Yeah. So like Liquid essentially goes, "Oh, your top lane, Darshan. We saw him play yesterday, so we're gonna ban Fiora, Shen, Camille, and Jace." And luckily, because of all that, basically they give Huhi Oriana, they give Smithy Lee Sin, and then Aframu gets to play Soraka.
Yeah, and the best part is about this? This time, we get the cheeky start. We make the invade, we get a nice early game, and in fact, Team Liquid actually tries to make it play around mid lane, but it doesn't work because Lee Sin is there, Oriana's there, and they just keep using Safeguard and the Oriana Command Shield, keep each other alive, and then what happens? Huhi walks away with the triple kill.
Oh yeah,
It's always a good feeling when your mid laner gets a triple kill super early in the game before 10 minutes. And there, we just get a really good early game lead, and we have a huge snowball with Mountain and Inferno. Gotta love that combo.
absolutely. Okay, so we get the snowball. Do we get a typical CLG? like stall this game out till 50 minutes, or are we getting like this new age CLG who's basically able to end games in 30 minutes?
Um, we were on track to actually end the game in the 30 minutes, super fast, clean rotations. But Team Liquid that tries to trade objectives because they're behind, they don't really care if CG's taking their objective as long as they get something in return. Now, Lorlo actually makes two really good sneaky plays, and this slows down CG's momentum. Because he's on Maka, he hides in the bush and then makes the instant twisted advance onto Stixay, gets the kill, and it slows down CLG. Now, the second time this happened, Team Liquid does this onto Darshan near the bot lane outer turret. Now, they take this turret, they kill Darshan, and they're making a push towards the inner turret. So, what does CLG do? We take a sneaky Baron. This is at the 20-minute mark. As soon as Baron spawn, we're already going for it. Now, they have no vision around that area, and just to distract them, Darshan actually makes a TP into the river bush, which Team Liquid has warded. So they think, oh no, Darshan's coming in for a TP play. So they're distracted there. CUG gets the Baron, and you know what? It ends up working out really well. We start to make a push and siege top lane. On the way out, we win a team fight. CLG resets, and the Team Liquid try to take the Mountain Drake. So guess what happens once again?
Uh-oh.
X-Smithy, X-Smithy, X-Smithy.
Oh, yeah.
He hops in and steals the Mountain Drake. From there, we just push and we end the game. But, there's actually a little cheeky jungle fight near the end of the game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so Xmithy stole not only the Mountain Drake, but this time, CLG's pushing off. Dardoch is on Kha'Zix, and he hops away a little bit towards our side. Lee Sin goes to fight Kha'Zix, and near the red buff, he takes the Q, so the Resonating Strike, and he goes in onto Kha'Zix. And then he's like, wait a minute, I'm against the Kha'Zix, and I'm all alone. I don't like this anymore. So Kha'Zix gets the little burst out, and Lee Sin's like, nope, kicks him away, goes towards the red buff and smites it for the health. So then he goes around the thing towards the blast cone. Kha'Zix takes the blast cone to run away, and then Lee Sin just warthops over the wall and gets the kill.
Typical Lee Sin kill.
Just really cheeky.
Yep. All right, so let's move on to game 3. So yet again, Smithy gets that Lee Sin. I mean, he had a 50% kill participation in the last round, and they didn't ban the Lee Sin from him. Huhi actually gets put on Echo, denying that from Golden Glue. And then, weirdly of all, Team Liquid bans Huhi Zed.
I mean, if you saw who he did to Immortals, he did unspeakable things that game.
That's
So
true.
I'd be a little scared of it too.
All right, so how's this last game go?
This game was such a fun game to watch if you're a CLG fan. Strong early game, and you know what? CLG bot lane, man. I don't know how CLG does it, but our bot lane, Rush Hour was great, and now Stixay and Aframu, also great.
Come on, we gotta say it. It's the big Dick Say.
The big Dick say, man. He just keeps coming through. So what happens this game? CLG actually baits the first turret build as Team Liquid crowds around bot lane, and they're trying to take it. As soon as they go in for it, we have Huhi on Echo and Darshan on Maokai. They get the flanks in, and we turn. We get several kills. We pick up first turret goal. Again, Stixhead just getting huge, and we pick up an Ocean Drake. Of course, we pick up the Liquid Drake against Liquid.
Oh, of course, that's the way we gotta do it. Okay, so do we get to snowball to a win on this, or does Team Liquid make a comeback?
I did mention this was a great game for CLG. And a little later in the game, we're going around near Baron trying to set up vision and whatnot. And Team Liquid tries to make a play onto Aframoon. They're able to pick him up, but critically enough, they use the Orianna Shockwave. Now what happens? They don't have it for the team fight. Xmithy goes in, gets a fantastic 3-man Lee Sin kick, and CLG then proceeds to take out Orianna and 3 other members of Team Liquid, leaving only Nami alive for the Baron defense. We get Baron as our prize, and we put on the clinic. Take out tower after tower and crack open their base.
Nice.
And it looks like things might get a little bit bad as Kha'Zix jumps onto Lee Sin, but Stixay, man, Big Dick say he is a clutch flash and reinitiates with the curtain call. CLG goes and we take out their carries and we push to end the game.
It's perfect.
It was a fantastic game for CLG.
Yeah. So I mean, the takeaways from this is basically that we had an amazing early game. And when that happens, it allows a lot of pressure to be taken off of the other lanes and lets them kind of get their snowball going. And I mean, as we were just saying, Big Dick say, Afro Moo, I mean, they're just dominating the bot lane, everyone right now.
Yeah, they really looked especially good against Cody-san and Ola, the Immortal spot lane. At one point, they actually won the 2v2, and I think they took the tower before 10 minutes,
Oh,
which is
wow.
almost unheard of now in this meta. And
Absolutely.
every game, he's up almost 30 CS. I don't know how he keeps doing it.
That's great.
It's fantastic, right? And not only that, Xmithy not been doing very well on the Kha'Zix Starengar, but he does know how to smite. Keeps
Yep.
getting those steals. And when he's not on those two, he's like, sweet, I get to play Lee Sin. I'm gonna have fun this game.
Absolutely.
You know, moving on, I do think we have to give a point to Huhi. He's played six different champions in 6 games,
Oh,
and
man.
he's looked great on all of them. And I think you were mentioning earlier, Darshan deserves some credit too.
Absolutely. I mean, Darshan has had so many good TP plays this game. It's been fantastic. And I mean, we've been talking about it, of course. Big Dick say he's been looking great this weekend. Especially at the beginning of the split, he was looking okay. He was. It seemed like he was a little shaky, but now I think he's kind of got his footing, and him and Afro are dominating bot lane.
It's what we want. It's always what we expected, and now we're getting it. And the best part is, I think it feels like we're saying a big fuck you to the current meta. What are we playing bot lane? We're not playing the Malzahar and the Zyra. No, we're playing Soraka. We're playing Nami. We're playing Karma.
Exactly. Kind of getting away from the meta a little bit because it's not something that maybe is super favorable for our playstyles right now. So that's great.
Yep, make everyone adapt to us.
Exactly.
All right, so after a 2-0 victory of League of Legends, which we haven't had in a long time,
Yes.
let's talk some CSGO. So, how did the ladies of our CSGO Red Squad do this week?
All right. Well, they didn't quite do as amazing as our league squad did, but their first game was against a team called Rare Form. This game was actually ridiculously close. The ladies were down a little bit to start in the first half, but then they came around and really pushed back in the second round, or in the second half. Round 25, Dai got an amazing 3K to clean up the round. She got killed right afterwards, but that basically solidified the win for the girls.
Nice.
Yeah. So near the end, it was 15-14. Rare Form won the 30th round, bringing them to OT. CLG then just cleaned it right up. They went 3-0 in the first half of OT. They lost the pistol round, I believe it was. The next round after, boom, done, 1916 CLG. And in the end, Dai had 45 frags.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. After that, a couple days later, they played Armor Esports. Unfortunately, this was an ESEA match that was unstreamed. Watching through the live updates, though, they kept it close in the first half initially. Unfortunately, they got rather brutally beat second half, 16-15.
Man, that does suck. And,
Yeah.
unfortunately, there is some more bad news. It looks like we parted with some roster and staff.
Yeah, so earlier this week, De Beers, I'm not sure if he stepped down. They didn't really say, or if CLG let him go, but he's gone. So we're down a head coach, as well for IEM Katowice. Claudia is going to be unable to school. So we've got Kiera Milk Makwa. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Taking her place. She's been practicing with Red ever since that they found out that Claudia was not going to be able to make it. So hopefully that brings some synergy and the ladies show us a really good showing at Katowice.
All right, so if they're going to be attending IEM Katowice and we've lost our head coach, what are the plans for that? Who's going to step in?
Well, right now we've got Samuel Silent Portillo. Hopefully I pronounced your name right. He's going to be the interim head coach for CLG.Red right now for Katowice 2017. Apparently, he is pretty familiar with the team, and he's been playing CSGO professionally for the past 2 years with teams such as Method, NRG, and Rush. So hopefully he's going to be a good help there. And currently, if you're a professional CLG or CSGO player, maybe give CLG a heads up. They're looking for a head coach for Red.
All right. Well, best of luck to the ladies at I am Katowice.
Absolutely.
So moving on, let's talk CLG.Blue. What happened this week?
Well, they didn't play any games. However, unfortunately, Sub Rosa has stepped down rather suddenly. He's returned back home to Canada. It seemed from their announcement that CLG wasn't really aware that he wasn't either too happy or whatnot with the team. Either way, he's gone back home to Canada. Welcome back, bud. And our old friend Hazed is going to come in, step in for the interim. So hopefully he'll be able to fill the shoes Sub Rosa leaves.
Cool. Looking forward to seeing good things from him until we get a new member.
Absolutely.
All right. So moving on to Smash. We've got B7 that happened this week. So go ahead. Tell me, how did SFAT do?
All right. Well, B7 was happening in Sweden this weekend. It happened Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And SFAT was there. Friday was a lot of setup and all that stuff. So Saturday, in the singles, in phase 1 of the singles, SFAT beat a Bonji 2-0, and then he beat Q 2-0 as well. So he had a really good setup in phase 1. Exactly. Phase 2, he also went 1-0 against Luigo, and then 2-0 against Slim Shady to get himself into the top 32.
Sweet. Now, how did he do in doubles round?
Well, in doubles, him and as we had last weekend, him and DizKid Boogie went 2-0 versus Sheep and Wingus, as well as a 2-0 versus Mom Spaghetti and Ferreted.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Now, what about Sunday? Did things go just as well?
Sort of. So Sunday was the last day, so got top 32 happening, top 8, all that fun stuff. Unfortunately, to start the day off, SFAT lost to the Moon 3-1 in the and then that puts him into the losers bracket. So in the losers bracket, he was up against a guy named Slox. He unfortunately lost 3-1.
Oh no!
That final stock fight was amazing. It was two foxes. Both of them are desperate. Slox is on they're both on tournament stock. So whichever one loses is basically out. Well, I guess Slox would have one more game. Unfortunately, SFAT lost on that, and he ninth at B7.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. On the doubles end, it was essentially the same. SFAT and DizKid, they beat Folden's Mon and RPG 2-0. And then they beat Random Ness, Zoller 2-0. Then they played Slox and Drug Fox, winners quarters. So at least earlier in the day, SFAT showed with his buddy DizKid Boogie that he can beat Slox, won at 3-1. However, in the winners semi, they were up against Armada and Android, who are basically some of the top 2 players playing in home turf. They got the crowd behind them. So unfortunately, they lost to them, knocking them into the losers. But in the losers there, they beat Professor Pro and the Moon 3-2, which gets them into the losers semis, where they beat AMSA and GP 3-0. And then in the losers final, they were up against Ice and Leffen and beat
That's a tough team.
Yeah, and beat them 3-2.
Yeah, that puts them in third place, doesn't it?
Actually, they lost, to Ice Leffen in the losers finals. Yeah, I read that wrong. 3-2, and that put SFAT DizKid Boogie in third place at B7. So that's pretty good. I mean, third place in Sweden, losing only to basically one of the best Swedish players and his partner.
I mean, losing to Ice and Leffen is no joke.
No, I mean we're all big on hating on the TSM, but
absolutely.
Leffen is one of the best guys. He ended up getting second in singles.
Right. Well, we don't have anything for Overwatch or Hearthstone this week, so
yeah, unfortunately, we've got nothing on that.
CLG podcast. Do you have any moments of the week or anything that particularly stood out to you?
Personally, I mean, it was all league this weekend. just the immaculate play that CLG showed in Game 3 against Team Liquid it was great. Like, it was a clean domination win.
Absolutely. If you're a CLG fan and you want a little bit of good news, go watch our league team this weekend. It was
Absolutely.
a 2-0 weekend. And yet, yes, yes, I know all those people were out there saying, asterisks, it's against Team Liquid and, Immortals. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
No,
Just take the 2-0, walk away with it, let the boys have their confidence.
exactly. Let's bring
You get
that
to watch
confidence
you get
into
to watch
next
some good
week.
Smithy games. You get to see him stealing so many objectives this weekend.
Yep.
Take it for what it is. Enjoy it. It was a good weekend overall.
Absolutely. All right, guys. I guess that'll conclude our rundown of the week. This one ran a little bit longer than we actually expected it to, but there was a lot of great news. So thanks for listening.
Yeah, and just please do give us some feedback and let us know how we did. So thanks for listening. Goodbye.
So.